if you can't get an accessible space, sometimes it means you turn around and go home, that you don't get to go to the doctor or the dentist or the drugstore.
The Toronto Police Services Board is having its public meeting this week. One of the items on the agenda, the abuse and misuse of accessibility parking permits. So, what are some of the worst offenses and what are the recommendations to remedy the problem?
And I don't see a permit on the dash displayed. So is there a permit?
No, I'm not parking here.
CityNews brought you the story of the misuse of accessibility parking permits in mid-December.
What the problem we have here, sir, is these permits are issued to the people to be used, not by their family or friends.
Lori Sue Robertson is the founder of Disability Awareness Consultants. She lives with several disabilities which require her to have a parking permit.
I've got a parking permit that I've had for quite some time because I can't walk distance, I can't stand for any length of time. I use a wheelchair if I'm outside or going to a meeting or something.
At the Toronto Police Service Board public meeting this week, the abuse of these parking permits is up for discussion. Now, Lori says one of the most common offenses is parking in an accessible space, but leaving the disabled person in the car. It is okay for the person with a disability to be a passenger, but it's like you said,
They have to get out. Yes, they have to get out of the car and walk in or walk out.
Now, there have been several recommendations given, one of which is to have a photo of the permit holder on the reverse side of the parking permit. Lori was on a committee in the early 2000s which reviewed the permit standards.
There were a couple of reasons why we decided against it. We didn't want people who are already potentially vulnerable to be more vulnerable.
She says as long as the person's ID matches the info on the permit, a photo is unnecessary and potentially unsafe.
The big thing is on the back of the permit, it says my name and my address.
The public meeting will take place this Thursday at 1 p.m. at Toronto Police Headquarters. Nicole Martin, City News.